Real good then. I was waiting for it to pop up on my app, and we'll explain it later. Vince Vitrano here from TMJ4 News alongside Sportsmeister Lance Allen. We're here for Green and Gold Live to break down the Green Bay Packers. Exciting game on Sunday, and look ahead for the Packers, what we have coming up this week. And we'll take your questions as well as soon as I see it pop up on my phone here. If you have a question for Lance, go ahead and put it in the comments section, and I will pass it along. But I will kick off the conversation, Lance.
I was going to say, in the meantime, while we're waiting for questions, let's just talk.
Let's go ahead and start with the kicking game and Mason Crosby, one of his worst days ever at the office, and yet still found a way to redeem himself and get the Packers the win. What was wrong out there?
So it's reminiscent, Vinny, of the Detroit game. I was there that year against the Lions. Can't make a field goal. Mike McCarthy runs him out there at the end of the game to kick a field goal, and he gets his confidence back. Same thing with this in the sense that, okay, he is the second longest tenured Packer next to Aaron Rodgers. The team believes in him. Aaron Rodgers believes in him. I like the story where Matt LaFleur went up to him at the end and said, "Do you think you can make this kick?
Man?
Are you good?" And he said, "I'm good to go, whatever." And so confidence-wise, I think this will be a boost going forward. The concerning thing to me, Vince, is you saw it the week before. Had a kick blocked, and it's by the naked eye, it looked like the Steelers were barely offside. But it is debatable, and they were barely offside. And then a kick late in that game nearly got blocked. There was a kick in the Niners game that nearly got blocked. And to me, I'm no kicking expert, Vince, but to me, like the one that he shanked to the left, it's almost like you're kind of rushing the operation, like you're feeling like, okay, some dude's coming in off the corner, here we go, whoa, I got a quick hit. And it is similar to a golf swing. Like Mason Crosby is a huge golf fan. Vince and I love golf. It is very similar that if you rush your swing, you're going to steer it to the left or to the right, depending on how you rush it. And it seemed like on one of the kicks, Vince, you try not to read too much body language, but you can figure out a few things. It seemed like Mason was puzzled as to whether it was the snap, whether it was the hold, or whether it was something that was going on, with the whole operation. And let's face facts. Special teams has not been that special. They had a couple of runbacks yesterday that were like, holy smoke, like the Bengals had great field position, and there's been some things there that have not been great with the special teams. So I think it's an all-encompassing thing, focused mainly on Mason Crosby, but an all-encompassing thing.
Well, I mean, you talk about how it's hard to kick field goals, right? I mean, like we've gotten used to, especially with Mason Crosby, sort of an automatic inside 50 yards, you're pretty much good.
Right.
And 50-plus yards, you still got a pretty good shot. But small little things like the hold can really have a great effect. You have new guys on that unit, including the holder is our new punter, correct?
Yes, the new punter, absolutely. And the long snapper, Hunter Bradley, has been kind of under the microscope. It's one of those situations, Vince, you know it, where if all goes right, nobody notices. Nobody cares. But the one time something goes slightly wrong, everybody notices it, and it's that situation. And it's also, to me, Vince, the law of averages. Like, at some point, Mason Crosby is going to miss. He had 27 made field goals in a row. It seemed like the extra point maybe rattled him, missing the extra point rattled him a little bit, and then all of a sudden, then the field goals start to go. And so hopefully now he's got it out of his system. I know the Packers believe in him. I don't think they need to do anything rash and bring in new kickers and all that stuff at this point, because I think he will rectify the situation.
All right, so that's that fiasco.
Yes.
Let's talk about the larger game. Some things good, some things bad for the Green Bay Packers offense. I guess let's start there. Aaron Rodgers was getting pressure early. They found ways right away. Credit to Matt LaFleur and the offense to let's roll him out, let's get him in motion, which Rodgers likes anyway, and they were able to adjust.
So the offensive line, as we all know, is still a little bit under flux. Elton Jenkins did not play. You're not going to have David Bakhtiari going forward for a little while. Lucas Patrick, and this was kind of overlooked yesterday, Vince. I didn't think hardly anybody talked about this, to be honest. Lucas Patrick started at center for Josh Myers for the rookie, and the rookies have actually, Newman and Myers, have actually played fairly well, but there was a timeout deep in the red zone, and you saw it. It was the one time where Aaron Rodgers went back to the Aaron Rodgers of old. He wasn't the zen hippie-ish playing, guitar on the State Farm commercial, Rodgers, where he lit a couple of the offensive linemen up because they were out of alignment and didn't know the snap count or whatever was going on down there in the red zone. So yes, yesterday was one of those situations where I thought Nyman played pretty well overall on the left tackle. Again, that's a hard position to play. Hard position to play and just get thrown in there. But excuse me. But obviously, they did have some issues on the offensive line, so it was probably advantageous for them to kind of roll them out or whatever. Still, all things being equal, Vince, they still ran for what, like 149 yards or whatever on the ground, or I think 150 yards on the ground because Jones was a 100-yard rusher. Yesterday, this blew my mind. First time in franchise history where they had a 300-yard passer, 200-yard receiver, Devontae Adams, and a 100-yard running back in Aaron Jones. I thought that would have happened by now, but the team is saying that's the first time in franchise history that's happened.
Well, the other thing that's surprising from that is that didn't result in more points.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Packers need to find a better way to get it done.
You got to find a better way. So, okay, we focused a lot on the field goals and the lack thereof and the missing of the field goals, but you are right, Vince, in the sense that against the Bengals are a good team, and I said to you, and we talked about this last week, so this isn't like I told you so type stuff. They are a good team, and this was going to be a difficult game to win. Little did we know how difficult it was going to be and how crazy it was going to be. But they're a good team. But against the really, really good teams, you can't just settle for field goals, hope you make field goals, and you miss a couple field goals. You're going to pay the ultimate price for it.
Packers on the defensive side of the ball, Lance, a little bit disturbing that essentially if you get into the red zone on the Packers, sort of the flip side of what we were just talking about, if you get inside the 20-yard line on the Packers, you're going to score a touchdown.
So
nothing we can do.
There was a stat late in the game or later in the second half where it basically said like the Packers of late in the last like year plus they've been one of the worst teams in the league as far as allowing touchdowns in that capacity, and that is another concern as well where it seemed like the Bengals had it rolling in the first half. And then the Packers defense, I'll give them credit. Yesterday, not a bad game. Devondre Campbell, once again. This guy, like Aaron Rodgers raved about this guy. Like, this guy was on the street. How did and I also like Vince, and I was laughing at this. I don't know if you caught it in the postgame, where Aaron Rodgers wouldn't name Brian Gutekunst by name. He wouldn't name anybody, but he said the front office or the personnel people did a good job of finding this guy. So it was almost like
must have pained him to say it, right?
A slight olive branch, you know what I mean? Wouldn't name names, but yeah, I think, and Kenny Clark has played very, very well. And the other thing that concerned me going in was you didn't have Jair Alexander. Kevin King did play, but then eventually got hurt again. And you had a little bit of a patchwork secondary back there, and yet somehow, some way, they limited the Bengals to 22 points. So, yes, I don't like the fact that you get close to the end zone. It seems like the other team gets in the end zone, but on the flip side, it seemed like they did a pretty good job. And then we can second guess and criticize the Bengals play calling too. Like, think about that. What could have been the game-winning field goal for them. They just run it into the center of the line, and then it's what, like a 56, 57-yard field goal, which, okay, you can make it, but it is a long field goal. The kicker even thought he made it, didn't make it. Wasn't that hilarious?
Good moment.
But you know what I mean? Like, you don't just settle for like a 56-yard field goal, and that's kind of what they did. So I would second guess that call as well.
Any questions for Lance? Go ahead and leave them in the comments section. Not being rude here, I'm just checking to see if you have any questions. Not that I don't love listening to Lance.
That's okay.
Right?
We like to answer your questions.
Right, so if you have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments section, and I will pass it along. Let's, in the short time, look ahead to what we have this week. Chicago Bears, here, that's away, correct?
That's away
game.
In
Chicago.
In Chicago. At the, how much longer are they going to play at Soldier Field game? You know what I mean?
Tough to make the Bears this year. I mean, are they on the rise? You've got the young quarterback, the guy from Ohio State. Some things are positive there, but then, I never know what to make of the Bears.
And that's a good way to assess it, Vince. In layman's terms, they're a choppy team. Like 1 week they look like, okay, our identity is defense, and we're going to have enough offense that we're going to beat you, and we're going to force some turnovers, and we're going to pose our will on you. And then the next week they come out and they had that historically bad offensive game where they couldn't get out of their own way. And you're going to have a little bit of that with the rookie quarterback in Justin Fields. I do think eventually he's going to be a good quarterback in this league, but it's going to take some time. And now with David Montgomery out, their main running back weapon, they're going to be even more limited offensively. But you can't go into a division game, as you well know, and just assume you're going to roll the football out and win. The Packers, the one benefit in this thing is that they are playing in a division that arguably is one of the weaker, if not the weakest in the NFC. We can argue if the NFC East is even weaker with the Cowboys kind of, running away with things now. But clearly the Packers have better talent and better depth on their team than anybody else in the division, the Bears, the Vikings, or the Lions. They just have to go out and prove it.
Lions still winless. Can you believe that?
Ooh.
And they had the
Vikings
their
on the
chances.
ropes. And the Vikings, it was like, what? So that to me speaks of how, somewhat bad the division is the Vikings could have easily lost that game.
Any questions for Lance? Go ahead and leave them in the comments section. Otherwise, I will continue to entertain him here on my own. Game plan going in then against Chicago. I mean, we saw Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams hook up for a close to a career game for Davante. I don't know if it was his best ever, but certainly
one of his best.
Ranks up there.
Yeah.
But sort of what happens, Lance? Because last week's hero was Randall Cobb, and it was Rodgers to Cobb, and you think, wow, how do we live without this guy for a couple seasons? And then Randall Cobb, one or two catches, an important one down the stretch there that put him in field goal range in overtime. But all of a sudden, a guy like that disappears. How does that happen?
Same thing we were talking before we started this. Mercedes Lewis had that one really nice catch.
Big dog.
And he's been great for his role, but he's more of a blocking tight end. But you're right, Vince, is that other team, the blueprint right now for the Packers to try to stop them was what the Steelers did. Like, they basically doubled Davante Adams nearly the entire game. And Aaron Rodgers even said in the postgame, I kept looking over, they doubled him. The few times that he wasn't doubled, that's when I went to him, which was 5 or 6 catches? So literally about 6 times in the whole game. You can't continue to just have Rodgers and Adams play pitch and catch and not have anybody else contribute. Now, they're waiting on MVS. That's still going to be another week or 2 or whatever. But you got to have more production out of whoever the second receiver is. I know that the LaFleur offense, they love to go to the tight ends. We discussed Robert Tonyan has, for the most part, disappeared. So he's got to step up. And then you did see a little production. I liked the back shoulder throw, and I like that A.J. Dillon, for a big guy, has soft hands and can catch the ball. So if you go more to getting Aaron Jones touches, that means, okay, he runs the ball. I think he ran the ball 14 times in this last game, but also throw the ball to him on wheel routes. Same thing with A.J. Dillon, can go up the sideline and make those nice catches. Maybe they need to use the running backs as almost like pseudo H-back tight end, receiver types, because they're not getting a lot of production out of whoever the second receiver is.
It's funny, it occurs to me as you talk about those offensive weapons in that way, kind of like Craig Counsell looks at pitchers as out-getters, like just a new way of looking at this guy's not a starter, this guy's not middle. Just I'd send guys out there to get outs in that same way. A running back's not necessarily a running back in the Matt LaFleur offense.
Not at all. Not at all. And even in the NFL, you could take it a step farther, like not the entire NFL, but I would say, Vince, more often than not in the NFL, running backs need to be able to catch the football and are almost as much receivers, or they call it getting touches. Like, okay, they don't care if it's carries and catches as long as they're in the 20 to 25 category.
Right.
They're usually doing pretty good. So you're right. Out-getters, to me, I don't always like that term, and you're right. Yeah, just whatever it is, just make sure that the guys are productive.
Right. Last chance to ask a question for Lance. If you like, leave it in the comments section. We'll leave on this point. I did not catch, but didn't seem to think that Aaron Rodgers gave us a lecture now about week 1. Are we past that?
I think we're past that.
How the fans got on him and we're trolling and whatever.
It's all good.
We're done with week 1.
They're 4-1 at this point. All is happy in Packers land. They got out at Cincinnati with a win, and now it's on to Bear Week.
Anything else to report out of the division, too? We look at the Vikings. I still don't know what to make of them. I'm still more afraid of them than I am of the Bears. Might change my opinion here as we come into this weekend, but just don't know what to make of that team either.
You keep waiting on the Vikings and going, okay, they have more veterans and they have more talent and depth, but yet, I'm with you in the sense that I assume that the Vikings will be the second place or the chief rival when it's all said and done, but they haven't proven it as of yet. And on the injury front, I know Devondre Campbell, that is a little bit of a concern, kind of got banged up with the shoulder. Kevin King banged up once again, and they're pretty thin at that position. So whether you like Kevin King or not, they got to run him out there, at least for the time being, because we don't know Jair Alexander's status. Being on injured reserve, he's going to be out for a little while, Vince. So I think overall, the health of the team is actually fairly good, but now they can't sustain a lot more injuries.
I was going to ask you about that on the Jair Alexander front. The Packers have said they want to wait to see how it heals on its own for a little bit, and then we'll make a call later in terms of whether or not he needs surgery. What's going on there? What is that process?
Well, I can't remember if we talked about it on this very venue or if we talked about it in a different, capacity here at
You might be
TMJ4.
mistaking me for like Wayne.
Yeah,
I
maybe
look a lot
somebody like
Wayne.
that. So my if I can be the WebMD, because there's plenty of WebMDs out there, as you well know.
We all are.
They got that degree. But when you are seeking multiple opinions, Vince, what are you doing? Basically, it's like if you go to the doctor and if someone tells you, you know what, you need to be out maybe for the year or for a long time. And then the next person says, well, you need to rest it for 6 to 8 weeks. And then the next person says, well, maybe you could rest it for 3 to 4 weeks and then play with a harness. So you have various opinions or various, a diagnosis here, a diagnosis there, whatever. Overall, it's probably not great because it's not going to get better, and you're probably looking at surgery down the road, whatever it is. It probably depends mostly on how much worse can you hurt it or how bad will it get. And so Jair Alexander, the one thing that's for certain is he is a tough character, and I love the fact that he sticks his nose in there and makes tackles. But he's probably going to have to, if he does play later on this year, he's going to have to be a little more judicious on when he sticks his nose in there.
All right, Lance Allan from TMJ4 Sports. I'm Vince Vitrano. Thanks so much for being with us today. Green and Gold Live will be back next week, hopefully talking about a win over the Chicago Bears. We'll see you then.